Many spend their days passively searching for something interesting to do. Others dig in and find it. While nothing is certain, anything is possible. And the anticipation leads you into action. Because it's here that adventures begin, stories are unearthed, secrets are revealed, fortunes are found, mysteries are solved, and the past is brought to life. Nothing valued is ever lost. It's simply waiting to be discovered. So here's the question. What are you looking for?
Good evening, everybody. It's Thursday, it's 8 o'clock, and it's the Big Detecting Show with my good friend and confidant, Mr. Adrian Gaylor, and myself, Dave Sadler. Good evening, Adrian. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks, Dave. Well,
good.
Everyone's allowed out now with certain restrictions. So, big news.
I tell you what, mate. I'm going to have to give that mention straight away before we go any further, and basically thank everybody who's been involved in lobbying the DCMS, their MPs, etc., etc. You're talking Tony Kaywood, who listens to the show. He's been deeply involved in it. He even wrote an article for ourselves, which led multiple people into contacting their own MPs, etc. We did try and do the petition ourselves, which was sadly pulled. Additionally, you've got to thank Jason Massey. I know Jason Massey was heavily involved in negotiations. Keith Westcott at the Association of the Detectorists and the NCMD also. So congratulations to everybody. And it's been very hard work, I know, by a lot of people. So well done. And for those of you who don't know what I'm on about, we were able from yesterday, the rules were changed around metal detecting, Adrian?
Yes. Allowing people to detect, providing it's safe and they got permission, etc., etc. So, apart from me, I can't go because sadly my daughter's got COVID. So I'm
good Lord,
self-isolating.
I hope she's okay.
Yeah, she's not too bad. Just in bed, usual. It's like a big hangover, really. I think. Good. Fingers crossed. She's young, so.
And the other big news of the week, obviously, several people have already mentioned it, that I have hair. And yes, it's the first time in 15 years that I have hair. And I did it myself in the bathroom with a little bit of help from Mrs. Sadler, taking the back probably looks like a meth addict's teeth, but hey. Yeah. And then we have a new colour. Daughter was dyeing her hair sort of blacky blue, so I stole it and done it myself. So... yes, it's what else? There was the big mention, which I think we'll actually come to that shortly when we look at the news. Now, as you all know, we are generally hit by technical hitches. Last week was a bit of a killer because we lost a high proportion of the usual viewers. We weren't able to bring the show to the viewers on Facebook feed because of the Facebook changing their settings and such like. But tonight, we're hoping Barry, the guest of tonight, is able to join us momentarily, but he was having an issue linking up with the show. His system wouldn't allow the link to open, so that lovely man, Mr. Higgins, is dealing with that off air. So, Adrian, shall we therefore go to the news?
Yes, be fantastic.
Oh, it's all changed. What's a video? It's got a video file there as well now. This is all new. So I'm sharing the screen. which is nice. Good evening, everybody, as well in the chat room. Thank you for joining us. So that's the wrong page. Outstanding start. No, that's the wrong page as well. There we're going. That's the right page. That's the big detecting show page that you saw there with all the information every week. But where I want to go to first is the ArcMD store. Now, for those of you who watch weekly, you'll know we do a live prize draw at 8:45, courtesy of Diggers Dips. And tonight's main prize follows on from our new involvement with Detecting Aware UK, who you've mentioned for the past couple of weeks. And you'll see if we pop in the ArcMD Mag store, which the links actually get put in on the shop in the coming days, you'll see our bits and bobs, and there's more to come. Steve, that lovely man at Detecting Where UK, he's added them, and there's going to be some more, a lot more going on there in the very near future. And something else has come up there already. We've got aluminium scale cards. But as you can see, for those who've looked in the past, the prices from we want to keep things cheap. People have asked us for bits and bobs, and obviously, we don't want to make any money. We want to give you something that you can wear and, do what you want with. So at the end of the day, we've come to Steve, we've chatted to him, and we've come up with an agreement of basically keeping all our prices exactly the same as everything else in his store. And Adrian, you've ordered one already.
Yeah, very swish website. Get a nice little text after you've ordered, Royal Mail tracking, and mine's looking like it was dispatched the same, if not the next day. But the tops are good quality. My housing manager, she's very impressed with the quality of them. Yes. I don't know what material it is, but it's not like thin cotton. You get a t-shirt. It's like it's thick, but not too thick. Breathes quite well. So ordered off there. So go over and have a look.
So you can see that's the header. If you go onto the site currently and you want to find it, look for this in the editor's picks section, and you'll be able to find them. But I'm absolutely made up with it. He's done a top job already. As you can see, lots more articles gone this week. Castleton's Ancient Hospital.
Dave, we're not on the website. Sorry,
aren't we?
No, they're just looking at two strange men. Two with hair.
I know, yeah. What's that about? Right, I'll come back out and I will reshare the screen because something I do want to give mention to on behalf of Nick West is the Military History Network. Damn fine it is too. For those of you who are interested in military history, Facebook, because of the things that can appear on Facebook pages, ammunition and such like, guns, knives, etc., they delete it. They've closed groups, and this is basically Facebook, but for military history enthusiasts. It started a couple of days ago. Again, you can find this here, or if you can have a look, just Google Military History Network, and there's some darn fine posts for those of you who aren't interested in military. And I think we best go to the news now, haven't we? So this week's news, Adrian. And one I've just found moments before we went on air. So first up, Adrian, buried treasure, the record UK haul fueled by rise in metal detectorists. There were 1,300 pieces of treasure found in the UK during 2019, the largest haul since records began. The DCMS annual report on treasure finds in England, Wales and Northern Ireland said there were more than 1,000 discoveries for the 6th year in a row. The vast majority were discovered in Norfolk, Lincolnshire, Essex and Hampshire. That's 96% of treasure finds. Now, that leaves the rest of the country, Adrian, with 4%.
I wish they hadn't put that, because it's just going to be loads of people, aren't there, going to all those areas.
Yeah, true.
But, I suppose it's where all the traffic laid by the coast and stuff. So,
It also states there's approximately 20,000 detectorists, and I think that's being quite liberal now.
I think that is very liberal. I mean, I'd like to know where they got those figures from.
I can imagine. This is the featured article in this month's Treasure Hunting magazine, now available online and in all good bookstores. And
Yes.
W.H. Smith and such like. I'll let you speak this one through, Adrian.
Yeah. Basically, forgot the guy's name.
Kevin Duckett.
Kevin Duckett. Yes, he he's been detecting for 20 years, and he went out one day. Loves history, like a lot of us, and just saw something poke. I won't give too much away, but he saw something poking out the ground, and it was gold. And he went down, pulled it out. Thought that is a very intricate gold sort of designed thing, as you can see. Went home, did a bit of research, which he's still continuing doing, and found that it looked like it was from Henry VIII's crown, which was destroyed after he died and cut up into pieces and melted down. But apparently somebody might have taken a bit for memory or whatever. But it's an amazing find. He's still got to get it confirmed because obviously it's quite hard. But based on the replica that's been made, it matches it pretty much 99%. But it's still supposedly belonged to his crown. But it is amazing. I mean, it's very intricate, the design and that. And if it was a forgery, you know, I find it quite hard to believe. Yeah. But it's so bizarre that it was sticking out of the ground. Just goes to show he's got a gold max, I think.
Yeah.
But you know, it just goes to show you got to keep your eyes open.
Absolutely. And don't forget all the articles that we publish on here in the news have the link available for you to click and read through in its entirety. Sorry, Adrian.
No, it's all right. I was just thinking, you know, when I come home and say I found certain things, my wife goes, "Oh yeah," and when I have things that have been of value or historical interest, she's gone, "Oh wow." But if I came up and said, "I found a bit of Henry VIII's crown," it's like what?
Is he stomping on a dog there?
Sorry?
Is he stomping on a dog?
I think it's a deer or something. I'm not sure.
But a deer.
But what? I mean, what? There's a full write-up in this month's Treasure Hunting magazine.
Yeah.
I've known it.
I got mine yesterday. It's a great article.
Yeah, it is interesting.
Ancient coins discovered in Roman ruins, which were left by a fleeing soldier. This is in Serbia. It's got to be one of those words I can obviously never pronounce. 120 silver coins near to a coal mine in a cornfield in Kostolac. That was quite easy. The site is thought to be the headquarters or principium of the 7th Claudia Legion, a Roman military force which was stationed there. Lovely. Roman silver coin collection found in Izenoi. We're going with that. And this is in Turkey. It's known as the Second Ephesus, for those who know Ephesus. Absolutely love that place. I've been several times. A rare collection of 651 silver coins belonging to the Roman period were found in a jug during ongoing excavations. It's best known for the preserved Zeus temple in Antalya. So, bad news this week. Looks like illegal metal detecting activity taking place on the Sussex Downs, which is a scheduled ancient monument. And they certainly do look like plugs, don't they, Adrian?
Yeah, it's funny, actually, because the permission I dig on, they've had a similar thing in lockdown, and the farmers contacted me. But I shouldn't say it, really, but the farmers bought these night cams now off a rechargeable battery, and he's hidden them. Probably, I think he's bought about 10 of them, and he's planted them around the permission I detect on to catch the person. They're really well hidden, really well.
Are you sure it's not you sleep detecting?
No, I wish. No. Oh, do you know, I've never had a dream detecting. Yeah.
Obviously, there's more details. That was taken from Sussex Heritage Facebook group. So there's more information there. Last week, Adrian, I've got to give mention to this. The Dig came out on Netflix. You can read our review, obviously, there. But, Adrian, what a film.
You messaged me, Dave, and I watched it. Me and the wife sat there, and she thoroughly enjoyed it, and I enjoyed it. And it reminded me, the guy looks just like my granddad.
Really?
My granddad was into archaeology, and he got me into detecting when I was younger, and it reminded me a lot of him. But Yeah, it was a really good film. Although there was one negative which I spoke to you about, and that was at the end. It would have been nice to see pictures and clips of the original, like where they reenacted.
Yeah.
But then I found a website. There we go. With all those pictures on.
What was it? The Archaeology and Metal Detecting magazine.
Yeah, but you didn't say that. No,
we're not saying that. No, I'm not saying it.
Yeah.
Yes, the Archaeology and Metal Detecting magazine. We did put a post together with probably about 100 images, some of the treasure and mostly of the time period, obviously the excavations and such like, but also there's 2 videos on there from the period as well. One of 51 seconds and one I found today and uploaded there, 3 minutes 8 seconds, which is a BBC video. And to be able to see it actual is stunning, Adrian.
Yeah, it's lovely. Really, really nice film. Thanks.
And there's obviously others relating to the British Museum as well. So just one moment. I'm having an incoming call from Mrs. Higgins. Hello, Mrs. Higgins. Right. Okay.
We've also had some new things come out this week.
Well done, my friend.
Coils, which are quite interesting.
Leave them in me. Bye-bye.
Those.
Yes, Coil Tech coils, am I right in saying?
Yeah, Coil Tech coils. 3 of them, 10, 10-inch elliptical, 14-inch elliptical, and a 15-inch round double D for the Knox from Coil Tech. So that's, sorry, I shouldn't. But the stuff the Knox brings up to get a bit more depth and a bit more accuracy with the elliptical coils is going to make that machine even more impressive. So they're looking quite good.
I actually seen another, not so much a press release, but somebody banding about. It's a coil manufacturer, I think, called Black Dog, and they've released some for the Quest. Yeah,
I've seen that as well. Black Dog, they've popped up before. I think they did one for the Quest Pro in the early days. So yeah, that's quite a nice thing to see. Somebody bringing out new coils for a not that well-known manufacturer.
When we're on about new technology and such like, you've been in communication with Paul from Megraphta, and you've been testing a new spade of his. Tell me all about that, Adrian.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. It's not often things come into the hobby that blow you away, but I think when the Knox first come out, it's the equivalent to that with a digging tool. Paul is an avid detectorist, has been for many years, and Tony Kaywood from TC Detects. If you look in some of his YouTube videos, you'll see he has some bizarre types of spades over the last year, and that they were prototypes along with others for designing a spade that was height adjustable, but lightweight. So I was really intrigued about this because it's made of carbon fiber, and we all know that's light and it is strong. It's used in Formula One cars and all kinds of things. Well, Paul contacted me and said, I've got this spade, do you want to try it out? Now, obviously we can't detect. So like a muppet, I went for a walk with a spade, exercise in COVID prior to being locked in. And I dug some holes. I did clay. We have a lot of heavy clay, wet clay around here. And also did pasture and also did a few fields with flint in. Now, it's early days, but it's incredibly light. And when I say light, it's just over the weight of a simplex. So if you imagine, and it folds down to about that big, it's got very thick carbon fiber. Now, this isn't the carbon fiber you normally associate with some aftermarket detector shafts and stuff. This is, from what I can gather, I might be wrong, but it's such high quality, it's used in the automotive industry. So it's so strong. Now, I went out with it and I ended up using it as walking stick, walking in the wet because it's so light. But it's called Megraphta. And if you just Google it, Megraphta, they've got a website all about it. But this is a guy, this is why I love being British. This is a guy who's come up with a solution in his back garden shed, well, I say shed, he's probably got a proper workshop, but he's knocking those out. And for me, it's going to be a game changer, because the only thing I hate about detecting is carrying a spade. It's annoying, it really is, but you need it. But I use a stainless steel one, which is extremely strong, but it's heavy. But this, for me, I don't think it will be great if you're chipping away at, you're digging up, I don't know, really solid clay with flint in all day long. But I did dig that, and I went down and I gave it to my son. He's 17, and I told him, I said, try and break it. Shouldn't say that really, but he just dug down about 2-3 foot, and it was a really interesting spade. And I'm writing a review for treasure hunting when I can actually get out and detect, but I went out with it briefly. But yeah, we've had that. The Mars Gauss detector, there's a review in treasure hunting, another new detector to the market from Mars, who obviously make coils, aftermarket coils.
And chocolate bars.
Yeah, chocolate bars. I don't think they're related. But yeah, there's a review in there for treasure hunting, which is...
imagine me walking around with a chocolate metal detector. Imagine it.
Chocolate metal detector. But yeah.
I'm hoping to have Paul on the show. We're about to start sorting out our next batch of guests for after Daniel Spencer, who's here in 2 weeks. And obviously, we'd like to ask Paul, as a chap that you're in communication with a fantastic story related to a well-known metal detectorist from our past. Am I right in saying it in that sense?
Yes, so much so. Is this the one you're talking about, mudlarking stroke metal detecting?
Yes, that's correct, yes.
Yeah.
We won't give names away yet.
No, I won't give names away, but I watched a YouTube, a lot of people have probably watched it, YouTube video the other day of one of the pioneers of our hobby. And it was almost like watching The Dig. It was really interesting. He's been in touch with me, and he's going to come on and give us a chat about he detected with this sort of icon in our hobby, which is from the 70s, I presume, and also does a bit of mudlarking as well. So he's going to come on the show and talk to us about that. But it was really interesting because it sort of brought it back to me. I obviously was interested in detecting in the 70s when I was a young lad. And it sort of, I don't know, the YouTube video and the footage brought it all back to me, and how at one time it was so exciting. It is exciting now, but when you're younger, as a kid, you want to look for treasure anyway. So he should be coming on the show soon as well.
And then we've got someone else who Luke wants to sort out. We've got as well. So anyway, we've gone on far enough now. I'm hoping in the meantime we may have sorted out the issue with our guests link. If not, we're going to be doing a little bit different. I hope. Luke rang me before, and we might have to do it as audio only. So Luke, he's ringing me now. Click to Adrian and let him speak. Click to Adrian.
Oh, I'd like to thank Tony Kaywood, TC Detects, for putting me in touch with Paul. So big shout out to Tony. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And hopefully we'll get Paul on the show soon. He's probably a bit shy, Tony, but if you want to tap him up, it'd be nice to get him in. I could go and get the spade now, actually, but if you go to the Megraphta website, just Google it. I'm sure it will come up in the search, and have a look. But I always find it nice when new things come into the hobby. And obviously, not to have brought out a new spade as well, or bringing out a new stainless steel spade as well, with a bottle opener on, which I find quite interesting, because I don't think I want to open a bottle with the bottom of my spade.
I just hit it with the side.
Yeah, yeah.
Or the bottle opener on my key ring.
I just take cans. So, yeah, it's about getting compact and lightweight, isn't it? It's been done with detectors, and the digging tools going forward is something important.
So anyway, we're now going to trial to see if this works. We've not done this before, so hopefully we'll at least be able to speak to Barry on audio. Well, it looks like we might not be. But if we're not, we'll be able. We've got all the information. We'd be far superior to get Barry on the show, and we can sort out something in the future, no doubt, if we're not able to speak to him directly tonight. But at least we've got the information here, and we've got all the information, all the images and such like anyway.
We could talk about it like me and you were down the pub, Dave.
What's one of them, mate?
I think it's like a little chef. But
oh, good evening, Barry.
Barry, give it a go, mate. Can you hear the show?
I'll do the show, yeah.
Can you hear Barry, gentlemen?
Yes, he's a bit faint, but we can hear him. I can see what's happening here. I can see what the link is. Good evening, Barry. Nice to speak to you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, nice to speak to you, Barry. How are you?
Hello, guys.
Are you well?
Is he on a CB?
Barry, can you hear the hosts or not?
Yeah, I can hear the host, mate, yeah.
Are you well, Barry? Nice to speak to you. I don't think he can, though.
I think he's in a tunnel.
Hi, how you doing, guys?
All right, yourself?
Hi, guys, how you doing?
Good, Barry. How are you?
I can hear the show.
I don't think this experiment's going to work somehow, Luke.
Hi, guys. Hi, Nick.
Is he on SpaceX?
Yeah, and you guys, a pleasure. Yeah, pleasure.
Karen's saying it's my accent. I haven't got an accent, Karen.
Yeah, very well, guys.
No, what Barry, you can't hear this, but obviously what we've got here is a massive delay. Dave, if you...
If I ask questions now and then come back in about half an hour, we'll get it right.
It's dropped out now, guys.
Okay. Not going to work, chaps, I'm afraid.
It's not going to work.
Right, yeah. Don't worry, Barry. We'll get you back in the near future. We'll sort something out at your end, and we'll go through it and obviously see if we can get it going perfectly before this. It's the first time this has happened to us, sadly. But 10-4, good buddy.
No. I'll see you in a few weeks or whatever, guys. It's a bit sad, but obviously I had a great story to tell. But come back to me. I'll get something sorted out on my side as well.
Excellent. I appreciate that, Barry. And sorry for obviously everybody who's come to listen, see the show tonight. But we will sort it out. And in the meantime, myself and Adrian will give you a brief outline, and we'll obviously got some images as well. So take care, Barry, and we'll speak to you soon. Nope. Well,
see, that's the problem trying to use the CB. It's too much delay.
You don't work with animals, don't work with children, and don't work with us.
Has he got a Spectrum or something, or a Commodore? That's probably what it might be.
Nothing wrong with Spectrums. I had a Spectrum 48K. I have.
Anyway, Commodore 64 had better sound. Sorry, we'll move on.
Well, I'll tell you what we'll do, Adrian. We were talking about recent updates and stuff such like. We'll crack on with that until the prize draw at 8:45. And when we come back after the adverts and such like, we'll get back into from our side, we can obviously read out exactly what we know and look at the images that Barry sent.
Yes. I mean, Hounslow to Jerusalem, finding the Holy Grail is a story which is very interesting, isn't it? And it was published by a lot of papers.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't subscribe to these theories. But at the end of the day, what proof do any of us have? People were saying there was no more mummies at Saqqara, and they dug up more last week. So, I know they're there, but is the Holy Grail real? It's a question in entirety in itself. Did Jesus exist? Therefore, did the Holy Grail? Did the Spear of Destiny? Did the Ark of the Covenant? Did any of them exist?
Did a man find part of Henry VIII's crown in a field?
Did I have cake today? No, I didn't. And it's a need cake.
Yes. So, it's an interesting story. And I know he was on the show a few months, probably a year ago, wasn't it, Dave? Barry?
Barry's not been on with us before, no.
Oh,
the story
sorry.
only came out just before Christmas. And we spoke about it on the show, about the case itself.
Oh, I could have sworn I heard him elsewhere. Okay.
He's done some podcasts, apparently, Luke was telling me, but no, nothing in, obviously, with ourselves as of yet, and not tonight.
It's interesting, though, because the story, tell me if I'm wrong, you probably know more than me, he was ill or something, or had an accident, and had some message sent to him to say the Holy Grail was there. Am I right in not saying so?
I tell you what, all paranormally, when you started talking like that, then you went dead fuzzy. You did.
Well,
talking about the paranormal, as I say, we'll come back to this after the break. But talking about the paranormal, I actually had it's what I used to do. Parapsychology, the scientific study of the paranormal and such like. I had a book published about 2008 called Ghosts, UFOs and Pussycats, which was my slant on the whole hobby at the time. And in 2012, I was about to have a second one published, but the publish house decided they didn't want to do that and went into film instead, which he was doing anyway. The side project was going to be publishing. So I've got the book back. Anyway, I have offered it to a publishing house and they've more or less agreed upon it. It needs expanding and such like. But book 2 might be coming out. And I've also discussed some ideas that me and Luke have had regarding our hobbies and what we cover with the magazine. And they're also interested in the prospect of them as well. That's
good. That's nice to hear. Very good.
It is. Because Luke came up with an absolute storming idea last night, which would be quite easy to construct, to be honest. So here's hoping.
Sorry, I've got a question in the chat from Darren Booth, History Unearthed, about this. I don't want to keep talking about the spade all night, although I could, because my wife's not interested. I don't know why, when I talk to her about it. Does it get weaker the more it's extended? Well, it extends pretty much up to my breast.
Really?
Yeah, it really, really does extend high. It's got about, I'll go and get it in the ads, I'll bring it in, but it extends, I use it on the lowest setting, which is fine. But if you extend it to the full height, it might get weaker. Naturally, as physics work, it probably would. But I'll go and get it after the break and show you. I think it's covered in mud, but you wouldn't need to extend it really high.
Do you want to give the home manager a shout now and see if it's allowed?
The housing manager?
Yeah.
The housing manager is in the other room with the door shut, so I can sneak through the kitchen, get it outside and bring it in
back into the studio.
Into the studio, yes. But she was actually. I kept saying, "Feel how light it is," and she was quite impressed. Yeah.
Were you talking about your wallet or the spade at that point?
I don't have a wallet anymore. I don't have a wallet anymore. Just use my phone. Give the wife housekeeping once a week. That's cash, £20 for the food and all the bills, and then the rest I just get on card. Sorry, went off.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think Luke is actually putting out potentially a bit of a phone in if anybody wants to contact us. He's put the StreamYard thing in, so we might actually get some something like that. I'm not sure, but that would be nice. Well, we're going in 5 minutes or so. 4 minutes. We're going to go over to the live draw. Tonight's prizes are in third place, 10 Diggers Dips tokens. In second place, a History of Medieval coinage book. And the winner will get I believe, a T-shirt of their choice from Detecting Where UK. Thank you very much to Steve. And thank you very much to Chris and the team from Diggers Dips. So that's nice. And my T-shirt a bit of a story for you, actually, Adrian. I've got a friend who started listening to us on All Metal Mode called Andre Figueredo. I apologise because he listens to it while he's driving his HGV and on the podcast version. So I've got me. All right, hold on. Talk to me in the adverts. I'm telling a story. Anyway, gone now. He's ringing. Anyway, so Andre messaged me today. He said, Dave, I'm coming through Congleton. Do you want me to pull over and, we'll meet? Because 2 years of knowing him, we've obviously never met. Pulls up, met him for the first time. Absolutely lovely lad. So I've got some leftover archaeology metal detecting magazines from Detectable 2019. So he asked if we had any left, took him one of them. And the T-shirt that Steve sent down the other week with the lovely embossed logo of the Danebury Metal Detecting Club. I've given that to Adrian as well because obviously it didn't fit me because I think somebody in a red jacket tonight might have given him the wrong size, perhaps. So Andre will be sporting that, so he's actually going to do a video with it on when he's allowed out. So looking forward to that.
Nice, you went out and met a trucker in a lay-by.
It was very much like, and we had I had dogs with me, so I was dogging.
Yeah. He flashed his lights so you could find him. But Dave, no, I can't go out till next Wednesday, so I'm looking. But we got really heavy snow coming apparently, so I'm not going out detecting in that.
Well, you've got a nice light shovel around the house to do the drive with, haven't you?
Yeah, I think my mate James commented in there about digging. Actually, it would be good for clearing the snow. Yeah.
Well, you can test it. It's another. You can actually video and review it for snow digging.
Yeah.
You can make a snow detectorist with it.
Actually, that's an interesting question. How many people detect in the snow? I've done it a couple of times. It's quite nice because you don't get muddy because you need.
I've done it once on a ring recovery from at the bottom of a hill where everyone was sledging, and I found the ring. And that was up Buxton way. That was men's. Nicola Roberts. Dave, where's your hair? Where's your hat? I let my hair grow for the first time in 15 years, so I'm seeing what it looks like, etc. Right, shall I share the screen? And am I sharing the screen? Luke, if I can share the screen, ready for the Digger's Dip straw, please. Which should be
nice hair product you got in there, Dave. What?
Thank you. Let me just try that again. Share the screen. Should be sharing any moment. There we go. Oh, look at that. Just in time. 5 seconds to go. 44 seconds to go. I refreshed it. So, Adrian, first place, what number? Between 1 and 36. Adrian. Now Adrian's disappeared tonight, so I'm doing a draw on my own. He's there. Where?
Underneath you.
Oh, right. I was number for between 1 and 36. 12.
0.
Zero. No, you can't have 0. Who gets 0? 12. What are you going to do? Wait till I was like the last second when there's like all the numbers are gone.
I don't know why they start at the big number if there's only. Well, I suppose that's the way it goes.
Well, on next week's show, we have 3 prizes from the Composite Pencil Company, Mr. Graham Dempsey, and the main prize, which is a low number, is the full kit from Composite Cleaning Pencil Company in his nice new thing for it. Scotty B's won a T-shirt. I don't think they do them in child size, to be honest. Well done, Scotty B. Steve, can you have the baby version for Scotty B? You know, like the what they call the onesie. Can we have one of them for Scotty, please? Second prize is a history of medic. I can't believe Scotty won that. Good Lord. Send him a triple XL.
It would be a 90.
One for the family.
It
is a high number. It's number 30, and the winner is John Cornwall. John, well done. You've won a History of Medieval Coinage book. And the final winner is for the 10 Diggers Dips tokens. I'll try and source a photograph of the station for all the composite. He has sent it me. I'll just have to find it while we're on the adverts, and I'll pull that up because it is a stunning piece of kit. It's basically the station for the entire collection of products. I sent it you, and you got all gooey, didn't you?
I said sexy wee wee, didn't I, when I saw that?
You did. It's number 23, and the winner is Whitehouse.
Paul Whitehouse.
In first place, Scotty B's won the 3XL T-shirt. Second place, John Cornwall, A History of Medieval Coinage, and 10 Diggers Dips tokens to Whitehouse. They will be the second two will be contacted by, well, I think they'll all actually be contacted by Diggers Dips. Scotty B, if I get your details, obviously, or I'll give your details to Steve and you can contact him and sort that out between yourselves. But thanks to Diggers Dips and thanks to Detecting Ware UK, and we'll go to the break.
I'll get my spade.
I'm Dave D, and you're watching XP Team USA.
Welcome back, ladies. What are you doing on that side? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Again, we must apologise. There's been technical issues at our guest end tonight. So Barry John Bowers, unfortunately, he is there. He won't be able to join us this evening. We did try doing it as an audio version, but that didn't work either, sadly. So you've just got me and Adrian for now. We've had a bit of a chinwag, and what I'm going to do now, I'm going to momentarily bring up the images that Barry sent over that I've sourced today. And we'll just give you a brief overview of what Barry claims to have discovered And Barry, if you're watching, I apologise if you get anything wrong. Obviously, this was entirely hopeful that you'd be able to join us and go through everything yourself. So, Mr. Higgins, if it's okay with yourself to open the share option on the screen, and we will go through the images, won't we, Mr.?
Yes.
Lost your name then. Forgot it. It's gone. So, Barry John Bower, now the son, claim he's an amateur archaeologist, and he's traced the Holy Grail to a secret crypt under a river, in Hounslow, and that's London. He believes that, as I say, there's a secret crypt. Now, as you can see on this map, it's the Duke of Northumberland's river. Now, I presume this here, I don't know the south, I don't know it very well, Adrian. I presume this is the Thames. Would I be right in saying?
It does look like the EastEnders intro. Yeah, I agree.
So this is Twickenham at the bottom. So I'm sure there's a rugby ground there or thereabouts.
Certainly is. Yeah.
And I would suggest that the Duke of Northumberland's river is a tributary which was made many years later, perhaps, because looking at the images momentarily, the base of the bottom of the river is brick based. So I presume it was man made. As it's the Duke of Northumberland's river. Anyway, he claims that he has found the whereabouts in the crypt of the Holy Grail. I had to throw that picture in. Had to. It was a must.
Oh, yeah.
You mentioned Holy Grail, and you can't not mention that man. Well, anyway, that picture doesn't work very well, does it? This is Barry in the river. It's very shallow, isn't it, Adrian?
I was looking at the Jerusalem Post. Oh, yes.
Very shallow river.
Yeah. It is.
As you can see, again, these images, these are off Said Scum website. So the ones that Barry has sent, obviously, a little bit different.
I think he's not going to the toilet there, is he?
I tell you what, that spade he's got, I can think of lighter ones. And this is himself with a friend pointing at the brick base of the river.
I think that's a reporter from the paper.
Do you know, I've done a lot of things with newspapers in the past, Adrian, and some of the things they try and get you to do, you just want to slap them, stupid. Pointing at the river.
Yeah.
So these are the images that Barry sent. Now, let me just look through the printed sheet that I've got for reference. He claims now I've been in the water, it makes me more certain. It feels hollow. It feels right. There's something underneath. Why not in Hounslow? He spent many years studying the Grail's links to the Knights Templar, who were an order of warrior monks, as you probably all know. He believes the Grail lies in a crypt under. This is very repetitive. He claims some of the Knights Templar trained on Hounslow Heath before their trips to the Holy Land, and he claims that they built the secret crypts to hide relics underneath at that point. Its entrance, he maintains, was later deliberately hidden near a weir, this being the weir, at the man-made Duke of Northumberland's river. Well, that's answered my question.
Weir, yeah.
That's something I know nothing about Duke of Northumberland's river. I'd never heard about it until, obviously, Barry's case, but it's something I'm going to have a look at because I don't like not knowing about things. I have to find out the very, very minimum. He's invested £1,000 to hire specialist geophysical equipment to scour the ground once it is drained. I believe he's been in communication with the environmental agency, which if I skim to the bottom, he has asked them, I can't wait to get started. There are some other reasons as to why I think the Holy Grail is here, which I don't want to reveal. I don't want rival hunters to get their information. It needs to stay secret or will be revealed. A scheduled visit from the environmental agency was postponed due to bad weather. A spokesman said, "We are willing to review Mr. Bower's request. and see if we are able to support him at another time. We have a statutory role to ensure that any works carried out on the main river are done in a way that does not cause environmental damage or pose a flood risk. Well, if it's an external geophysics survey, I don't think that's going to be much in the way of damage there, Adrian.
No. I mean, for the environmental agency to potentially stop the flow of the river, that's quite a big thing.
Especially given the current rainfall and floods throughout the UK. I mean, it's needed as to take the water away from the main river, I suppose, to stop the areas flooding themselves. I'm not that au fait with London geology and such like.
I bet it's full of sewage.
Mm. It's a lovely looking river. As I say, you can see on some of the images the brick base of it. So I'll stop sharing there anyway. So there's Barry's images, and that's Barry's story. And it's unfortunate because I personally did want to speak to him and learn more because, we don't know anything about it other than what's in the newspapers. I know he's been on several podcasts, but he also wanted the audience to participate with potential ideas and with questions and such like as well. But Luke's currently showing, this has actually made it all the way over to the Jerusalem Post regarding the alleged, obviously there's a link, Jerusalem, the Temple of Solomon and such like, the alleged activity of the Knights Templar there. So it's interesting. It's an interesting theory, but we've got Oak Island, we've got Roslin Chapel, we've got places in France, all which claim to have the Holy Grail situated there. I mean, at the end of the day, personally, I do not believe in any sort of religion in the sense of Christianity and Jesus and such like. That's my personal perspective. So therefore, if I don't believe in Jesus, I can't really believe in the theory of the existence of the Holy Grail, the Spear of Destiny, the Ark of the Covenant.
I think it's a shame Barry's not on, because my question is, what and how did he think it was there? Out of all the places, let alone in the world, in the country. I don't know if does Barry live in Hounslow?
Cinderford in Gloucestershire.
So it's not even local. It's he's obviously got to travel down there, so it's costing him money to do it.
And he's obviously done a lot of research as well to get to the point where he believes that is the case.
What does Barry do for a job?
Currently, I don't think he's employed, according to the article. But this is last year, and the scum obviously publish some claptrappery all the time, so it's probably incorrect.
Yeah, that's true. They'll probably say he's a stripper or something by night. It's interesting. Shame he's not on, but we can move on. I brought the Megraphta in, if you want me to show you.
Yes, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it in its extended state and its shortened state as well.
It's the green screen. It comes in two parts. It comes in this part here with a little pop-up thing. Carbon fibre, very, very light. Very light.
Is it hard wearing as well? I mean, if you slammed it on the edge of your table with both hands, would it bend or shatter or break?
I carried out a test, a very technical test, where I leant the spade up against a public footpath post. I shouldn't say this because Paul, who designed it, would probably go, and I put I think I weigh about 8 or 9 stone, I'm not sure. I put all my body weight on the shaft. I've taken a photo and it will be in the review. All right.
Well, let's just go back a minute. You weigh 8 or 9 stone?
Yeah, I reckon, probably.
Really?
Maybe pushing 10. So I put all my weight on it, and it flexed a little bit, but it didn't crack or break. My son was constantly laughing at me because he was with me. So basically, you get it in 2 parts like this.
Oh, that's
the green screen.
Yeah.
So you've got a serrated edge on here, and you've got 2 foot pegs welded in. Now, one thing I like on here. Shall I turn the green screen off, Dave?
Yeah, give it a minute. Yeah. Some people are mentioning how they love the Templar stuff. Absolutely love it myself. I'm in communication with Carl Cookson and Hamilton Wood from the Lost Relics of the Knights Templar. And they've obviously discussed things with me off air which haven't been seen yet. And it's phenomenal world of Templar malarkey. Sorry, carry on.
No, so it comes in two parts. There's this bit here. And the one thing I really love, we all know what it's like when you try adjusting your shaft with two buttons. There's only one, really simple. And basically, you just... Christ.
Yeah, you're doing well there, mate.
Yeah. So basically, you just... holding me shaft. So you can see that is very long.
That's lovely, yeah.
You wouldn't need it that long at all. So I dig with it down at that height. And what is nice, it's just not two buttons, it's just one to just pull it along and change it. It's got a serrated edge on it. Christ, I'm doing a good job here. So it's got a serrated edge on it. It's steel, welded, very well welded, foot pegs, and it's got little, how can I put it, like sandpaper abrasive strips on here to give you extra grip. But what I do like about it, which us British are very good at, is if the shaft did break, there's little bolts on here to simply pull it out and put a new shaft on. So yeah, it's a nice looking shovel, extremely light. I mean, not that I could do that probably with a normal spade.
I would laugh so much if your finger snapped then. Yeah.
So it's not a massive head on the shaft, but it's enough. It's ample.
We've got a few questions there, Adrian. One is, if one button breaks, one button will break. It's easy if you twist your shaft. Sorry, that's not the one. Darren Booth asks, does it come with a warranty?
I think it does. I think there is a warranty on the website. I don't work for them. I haven't been paid to promote it. I'm just literally been sent one to try out, and I like it. But I'm sure there is a warranty on the website, but it's quite realistic, because trying to put a warranty on a spade is like a tyre for a car. There's multiple eventualities you can have with it. I'm sure TC to Tex or someone might look on their website, but he did have a warranty. But I think the key to this is this carbon fibre. It isn't cheap. It's not a cheap spade to buy, but that's because of the carbon fibre that's used in it. It is extremely strong. And if I'd have known we weren't going to have a guest on tonight, I would have shared some pictures. I probably still could, of me standing on it and digging with it. But it's just a lovely little thing. And what I did when I went out, because my son was embarrassed, I'd look like a complete idiot walking down the road with a spade, I put it in my backpack, which I had with me, because you can obviously just put it down like that, have it in your backpack. But I think going forward, if it takes off and it does well, and I know people, Jim, who's in my club, metal detecting club, he's bought one because he's got a bad back and stuff, because that's one of the reasons it came about, because Paul, who designed it, had a bad injury accident a few years ago, and he struggled when detecting, carrying his spade and digging, and that's why he brought this out. And the guy I know has bought it one, and I presume Tony at TC has got one.
There's definitely a warranty. Definitely, I don't know how long, but yes, there is a warranty.
Yeah, I feel it's one of those things that it's just going to become a bit like C-scope.
Yeah.
It does the job. It's good quality, and above all, it's British. And with Brexit going on and all the tariffs and charges going on stuff coming from Europe, I think it's nice that we can support people in our country with it.
When we talk shovels and when we talk English or British, we can't not give a mention to Blackadder, because the products they've been spewing out for years are, again, top quality world international standard digging tools.
Yeah, I mean, I must admit, Blackadder, I think this is good, but I think if you were digging, take for was it spring or summer detectable? I think it was spring detectable. The ground there was ridiculous on the field, sheep field, I think it was. And I don't know if I don't know yet, but I don't know. A good stainless steel shovel would suffice something like that. I mean, we all know what it's like. You go out detecting and your spade breaks, or you leave it in the car. It's almost as important as your detector, but at the same time, so is your back. So if you've got something lightweight,
I'll be honest, Adrian. I've always had the issue. The image of Barry when he was on screen with that little shovel. I've got one of them. I've used it for years. I've no problem with it. It's fine and dandy. And I've also got one from years before, which is it's like a mini version of one of the sort of knee-high version of one of the Blackadder shovels. And they've both done me fine and dandy, no problem whatsoever. The problem is I'm fat and I've got a bad back. So bending down is an issue when I'm digging. And the extension of that is fantastic. Now, I was contacted about a month ago by a company from America who've actually designed this product, and it's basically a screw-on handle for your mid shaft. So, for instance, that if you extended it to full height, halfway down, you could bolt this handle into place. So you've got a second thing to dig with. If, for instance, we talk what I've seen of American TV series, people who are doing archaeology and such like, Curse of Oak Island especially, when they're digging for something, they have a very old-fashioned spade with a very long head-height handle, don't they?
Yeah.
So, for instance, putting it to that length, having this product that I've seen, it's as I say, it's an American product, having a handle midway, if you are that way, could give you a totally different advantage with the way you dig as well. Especially people like me who need a long shaft.
Well, it's the difference between a spade and a shovel. Our overseas counterparts tend to use a shovel because their soil is a lot drier and not as damp as ours. So we dig and they shovel. So you'll see a lot of American detectorists have shovels. But yeah, it's interesting. God, I can't believe it. I was sitting here talking about blinking spades. But it is an important thing in our hobby. And
have you noticed in Aussie Gold Hunters, again, it's a totally different, it's more or less a business as opposed to a hobby. They actually use, because of the hard ground, they all use mini mattocks and mini pickaxes.
Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, a lot of...
Imagine trying to use that in our hobby and what people would say about destroying archaeology.
Yeah, that really worries me. I'd never use a pickaxe. I know last summer, was it, or the summer before, when the ground was summer before in Essex anyway, the ground was rock hard, and I broke a Fiskars, which is another good make of spade to use, very lightweight and strong. I broke one of those, and then I bought a cheap B&Q one as a backup, and I broke that. So yeah, it's something which it depends on what soil type you're digging. We have a lot of clay in Essex, so it's very, very boggy in the winter.
Would you say, moving to ask a question about that? Living up north, we've got less clay where I live, but where you used to live, you say more clay. We read at the start of the show about the amount of relics that are being discovered in that area, Essex, Kent, etc. Do you think that clay layer is actually holding relics and coins at a lesser depth?
It's harder to plough. I mean, once you get a deep plough in, we get a lot. Like most detectorists, every time I detect, I'm finding plough. I don't dig it a lot of the time, but sometimes I do if I get a signal next to it. But I never thought of that before. Clay does potentially preserve things as well as mud because it's compact. So there's no. I've forgotten the posh word for it, but Laura Maitland from Mudlarking.
Oh, it was anaerobic or aerobic.
Yeah, so it basically saves it from being damaged from the atmosphere.
And what a great chat that was last week, by the way, with Laura Maitland.
Yes, very interesting lady. Been following her on Instagram. She's got some great stuff on there. Really, really interesting finds what she does. And I hope to do it. But again, they're under the same restrictions as us with metal detecting. You have to contact the Port Authority in London, see if you can do it.
That's correct, yeah. Well, listen, Adrian, and everybody again.
Sorry, Dave, but
crack on.
One more spade manufacturer, which isn't in the UK, which I'd like to see, is Gravedigger Tools.
Yeah, just for the fact that the name's cool.
And they have pink ones and purple ones to go with your beard. But Gravedigger Tools is another. Again, it's a small guy, set up a company years ago, and they're big in America, and they look really good. But I haven't seen them over here.
Absolutely. Well, listen, again, we must apologise to the viewers tonight for our guests' inability to take part in the show. Technical issues at his end. And as I said before, next week's guest, we've got a lady called Kaylee from the YouTube channel History with Kaylee. She's from, I believe, I don't know if she's actually from there originally, but she lives in the Netherlands. Fantastic YouTube channel talking about different areas of history, her thoughts on it. And it's good, isn't it, Adrian?
Yeah, very interesting. I'm looking forward to talking to her.
And as I say, tomorrow we will release the competition for the Graham Dempsey's 3 prizes on Diggers Dips next week. The following week we have Dan Spencer, and then we're looking at adding people as guests thereafter. If you do wish to be a guest on the show, please give one of us, myself, Adrian, or Luke, a shout. We'll book you in and obviously promote it, and we'll chat to you at length. It doesn't have to be in the hobby for 10 minutes or 10 years or 50 years. We're glad to speak to anybody, and we try to bring a wide range of people to the show, i.e. Barry tonight. It's something a little bit different than normal. Next week, History of Kaylee. Last week, Laura Maitland. It's not necessarily metal detecting, but I think all of them, Adrian, add up to being good shows. Yeah,
just interested in the sort of things we're all interested in, really. Whether it's unearthing history, treasure, or mysteries, it's one of all different mix of things, isn't it?
Absolutely. So same time, same place, 8 p.m. next week with History of Kaylee. As I say, I'll try and actually book Barry in for the week following Dan Spencer from Searcher Magazine, because obviously then we can work thereafter with everybody else. So hopefully within 3 weeks he'll be able to sort out the communications issue. So Adrian, a pleasure as ever.
Thank you, David, and it's good night from him.
And it's good night from me. Thanks again to Luke. Thanks to everyone for joining us tonight. Have a great week out metal detecting, because the world has spoken and you can. Good night, everyone.
Oh.